peace and grace over your heart. Beloved child of God, you are not here by accident. You are not hearing this message by coincidence. This moment is sacred. Heaven has aligned your steps to arrive right on time. Because what you are about to hear is a divine revelation. Something heaven has been waiting to whisper to your spirit. Angels say your soul is ready for this. Your heart has space for this. And your future needs this. You clicked this video because something inside you has been stirring. A shift. A tension that will not quiet down. A sense that something in your love story is changing. That something is moving. That something is unfolding. And you can feel it even if you cannot explain it. There is someone connected to your life. Someone whose spirit has been reaching for you. Praying for you. Longing for clarity about you. Someone who is waking up to a truth they can no longer ignore. And heaven is moving them toward a decision. Toward a moment. Toward a confession. Toward alignment. Your soulmate has an urgent message for you. And heaven needs you to hear it now. This message is not hype. Not wishful thinking. Not fantasy. This is direction. This is spiritual intelligence. This is revelation meant to prepare you for what God is positioning in your life. Some of you have been feeling emotional waves that you cannot explain. Sudden sensitivity. Unexpected heaviness. A strange pull toward reflection. A rise in your intuition. Moments where you feel someone thinking about you. Praying for you. Searching for you. Your spirit has been picking up on theirs. Because when God is preparing to align two destinies, He begins with the heart. He begins with the spirit. He begins with the internal before revealing the external. Your soulmate is receiving clarity. And heaven is urging you to understand the season you are stepping into. Because the next chapter of your love story requires awareness, strength, healing, and readiness. If you are new here or you have been listening silently without subscribing, I want to personally invite you. If this channel has ever lifted your spirit, helped you heal, helped you understand love in a deeper way, helped you recognize your worth, then hit the subscribe button. Join this community. Become part of this family of healing, purpose, and alignment. At the end of this video, I promise you a moment of activation. A closing that will not only ground this message, but position your heart for the blessing heaven is releasing. So stay with me. Do not rush through this. Do not skip. This message is layered. Each revelation builds on the one before it. And by the time we finish, you will understand why your soulmate spirit has been so restless. Why God has been waking you up at specific hours. Why your emotions have been shifting. Why your heart feels like it is preparing for something bigger than anything you've experienced. You will receive 7 strategic truths. 7 deep revelations. 7 alignments that will help you understand the urgent message God is placing on your soulmate's heart. Take a deep breath. Let your spirit settle. Heaven is about to speak. Let's begin. Number 1. Your soulmate's spirit has entered a season of awakening. There comes a moment in every God-ordained connection when the spirit wakes up before the mind does. Before the emotions understand. Before the circumstances catch up. Before the person can explain what they are feeling. Their spirit senses the shift. Your soulmate is in that awakening right now. They may not have said it. They may not even fully understand it. But something in their spirit has changed. The inner world is stirring. Their heart is opening. Their awareness is rising. And they are beginning to feel the pull toward you more than ever. This is not obsession. Not fantasy. Not emotional confusion. This is divine alignment. When God is preparing 2 lives for union, He awakens the spirit first. Because the spirit does not lie. The spirit does not get distracted. The spirit does not follow preference or convenience. The spirit recognizes destiny. Your soulmate is sensing something they cannot shake. A pull that feels deeper than desire. A connection that feels older than memory. A longing that feels stronger than logic. A knowing that feels like truth even without proof. This is the spiritual awakening of a heart that has been chosen. Many people think soulmate connections begin when 2 people meet. But in reality, they begin when God begins waking them up. Softening their heart. Strengthening their discernment. Elevating their desires. Redirecting their path. Preparing their spirit to recognize the one He has set apart for them. Your soulmate is entering that stage. They are beginning to lose interest in meaningless connections. They are beginning to see through temporary attraction. They are beginning to feel empty around people who do not carry divine alignment. They are beginning to hunger for depth, truth, consistency, purpose, something real, something lasting. This is what spiritual awakening does. It breaks old cycles. It exposes distractions. It reveals false attachments. It pulls a person out of surface-level living and brings them into clarity. The restlessness they feel, the desire for change, the internal questioning, the late-night thoughts, the emotional intensity. All of it is part of their awakening. You may feel this too. Because when two souls are spiritually connected, one awakening often triggers the other. If you have recently felt a sudden emotional shift, a rise in your sensitivity, an inner pull you cannot explain, a sense of being watched over, a need to prepare, a desire to elevate your life, a quiet voice saying something is coming, then you are connected to their awakening. Your soulmate spirit is calling out and your spirit is picking up the signal. This is how God prepares two people without them even speaking. Spirit to spirit, heart to heart, alignment before interaction. Sometimes this awakening begins with discomfort. They may feel unsatisfied with their environment, uneasy around the wrong people, convicted about past choices, exhausted by pretending, tired of inconsistent affection, emotionally drained by the wrong relationships. This is not depression. This is the death of old patterns. This is God removing what cannot go with them into the next chapter. This is God shaking the ground under their feet so they cannot settle for less. This is God preparing them to choose with intention, to love with consciousness, to commit with maturity. And here is the part many people overlook. Awakening is not just spiritual. It is also emotional, mental, practical. Your soulmate may suddenly start wanting to get their life together, improve their character, get healthier, become more responsible, break old habits, strengthen their relationship with God. Because something in their spirit knows they are being prepared for something sacred, not casual love, not temporary connection, but destiny. And this is why heaven needs you to hear this now. Their awakening is not random. It is not delayed. It is right on time. And for the first time, they are beginning to see life clearly. The noise is fading. The distractions are losing power. The wrong people are falling away. The truth is rising. And their spirit is saying, prepare. Because something life-changing is coming. And beloved, that something is you. When two souls are aligned by God, awakening is the first sign. And your soulmate is in it now. Number 2, God has started separating them from what cannot go with them into your future together. When God prepares a person for a divine connection, He does not start by sending them a relationship. He starts by removing what cannot coexist with the blessing. He begins with separation, because alignment requires room, and destiny cannot thrive in crowded spaces. Your soulmate is going through a divine separation right now. Certain people are falling away. Certain habits are losing their power. Certain environments are becoming uncomfortable. Certain cycles are breaking whether they understand it or not. And heaven is behind all of it. This is not coincidence. This is not emotional instability. This is not confusion. This is God pruning their life for purpose. Every God-ordained relationship requires purity of intention, stability of character, clarity of heart. And if your soulmate remained attached to what God is removing, they would not be able to step toward you with integrity. So God is cleaning their atmosphere. Some of the people they used to depend on suddenly feel distant. Some friendships feel forced. Some social circles feel draining. Some habits feel wrong. Some conversations feel empty. Some relationships they were entangled in are coming to an end. This is divine intervention, not loss. God is protecting what belongs to you. God is preserving the connection between you. God is refusing to let them sabotage something heaven has ordained. When God separates, He is not punishing. He is preparing. Many people ask, why does God take people out of someone's life before their soulmate appears? Because if the wrong people stay, they will poison the right connection. They will distract the heart. They will distort the mind. They will delay the destiny. God is too intentional to let that happen. This season of separation is one of the clearest signs that your soulmate is being aligned with you. They are beginning to feel the weight of conviction. They are beginning to feel the emptiness of shallow connections. They are beginning to recognize who is meant for a lifetime and who is only meant for a lesson. Sometimes separation looks like heartbreak. Sometimes it looks like disappointment. Sometimes it looks like unexpected endings. Sometimes it looks like emotional exhaustion. But underneath all of it, there is a divine hand shifting their life away from what was never meant to stay. Your soulmate may feel alone right now, but that loneliness is not abandonment. It is preparation. It is God stripping away the noise so they can hear Him clearly. It is God making space so their heart can recognize you when you appear. You might even feel this in your own spirit. Feeling a sudden urge to detach from people who drain you. Feeling the need to elevate your standards. Feeling a shift in what you tolerate. Feeling the urge to protect your peace. Feeling a desire to grow and heal. Your paths are mirroring. Because heaven is preparing both of you at the same time. Separation is the gate before elevation. Isolation is the training before union. Growth is the requirement before alignment. And your soulmate is being shaped right now. God is removing counterfeit relationships. He is closing doors that would cost them their future. He is exposing intentions they once ignored. He is revealing motives they could not see before. Why? Because you cannot build a God-ordained marriage on unstable foundations. You cannot step into a covenant with someone who is still tied to confusion, still tied to temptation, still tied to emotional inconsistency, still tied to people who drain their spirit. God is protecting this connection by removing every threat before the connection even begins. When you hear their urgent message from heaven, when their heart opens, when their clarity comes, when the truth pours out, it will be because God has already rearranged their environment. Nothing that was meant to distract them will remain. Nothing that was meant to break them will follow. Nothing that was meant to delay them will survive this season. God is pruning them into the person who can love you well, consistently, honestly, maturely, faithfully, spiritually. So if things are falling apart around them, or around you, do not be afraid. Things are not falling apart. They are falling into place. This separation is the preparation. And heaven is serious about this connection. Because you are not just a partner. You are part of their purpose. Number 3, their heart is being convicted to tell the truth they've been afraid to admit. Every destiny connection requires one thing before it can move forward. Truth. Not polite truth. Not half-truth. Not convenient truth. But full truth. The kind that rearranges a heart. The kind that breaks old patterns. The kind that exposes fear. The kind that frees the soul. Your soulmate is experiencing that conviction right now. There is something God is pressing on their heart. Something they can no longer ignore. Something they have tried to push down. Something they hoped would fade. But heaven keeps bringing it back to the surface. Your connection to them. Your presence. Your energy. Your spirit. Your purpose. Your alignment. It has awakened something inside them that requires truth. Not performance. Not pretending. Not emotional hiding. God is pushing them to confront the things they ran from. To deal with the emotions they refused to acknowledge. To confess feelings they tried to bury. To admit desires they were once afraid to want. And this is why their message is urgent. Because heaven is convicting them in this moment. Not to shame them. Not to pressure them. But to free them. Conviction is not punishment. Conviction is God pulling someone into truth. Your soulmate is wrestling internally. Not because they do not care. But because they care deeply. More deeply than they expected. More deeply than they planned. More deeply than they are comfortable admitting. They are realizing they can no longer run. They cannot pretend the connection is casual. They cannot minimize what they feel. They cannot stay silent when God is telling them to speak. They cannot hide behind fear when heaven is calling them into alignment. They are being pushed to express what they have held inside. To tell the truth about how they feel. To tell the truth about what they want. To tell the truth about the connection. To tell the truth about the future. Truth always precedes union. Truth always precedes clarity. Truth always precedes alignment. And right now, your soulmate is standing in that threshold. The threshold between fear and courage, between silence and confession, between emotional safety and emotional maturity. For many of them, this is the first time they are confronting love with honesty. The first time they are taking accountability. The first time they are choosing transparency. The first time they are recognizing their own emotional avoidance. The first time they are seeing the relationship through God's lens instead of their fear. This conviction may feel heavy for them. They may feel restless, anxious, unsettled, emotional, pulled in multiple directions. But all of that is part of spiritual correction. God is teaching them that silence is no longer an option. Avoidance is no longer acceptable. Mixed signals are no longer tolerated. Confusion is no longer sustainable. You deserve clarity. You deserve honesty. You deserve consistency. You deserve a partner who speaks truth from their heart. And God is preparing your soulmate to be that person. They may be rehearsing what they need to say. They may be writing messages and deleting them. They may be thinking through conversations. They may be imagining the moment they finally open up. They may be feeling pressure in their chest, heat in their spirit, a pull toward vulnerability. That is conviction. That is God. That is divine timing. That is emotional awakening. When God is ready to align two souls, He does not let one stay silent. He presses truth out of them. He squeezes honesty out of them. He brings them face to face with themselves, not to break them, but to prepare them. Some of your soulmate's urgent message will include truth about why they hesitated, why they withdrew, why they were confused, why they feared the connection, why they felt unworthy, why they kept their distance, why they guarded their heart, why they didn't step forward sooner. And when the truth comes, it will not be manipulative. It will not be shallow. It will not be performative. It will be pure, honest, transparent, humbled, Spirit-led. Because conviction is doing its work. This is the moment where they choose growth over fear, intuition over confusion, faith over comfort, truth over silence. God is preparing them to speak. And when they speak, it will change everything. Number 4, God is rebuilding their confidence so they can pursue you with boldness and not fear. One of the greatest battles your soulmate has faced is not love. It is confidence. Not attraction, but self-belief. Not desire, but the inner strength to pursue you with boldness. Your soulmate has doubted themselves more than you realize. Doubted their readiness. Doubted their value. Doubted their worthiness of a love as deep as the one they feel toward you. They were not afraid of you. They were afraid of failing you. They were not intimidated by your beauty or potential. They were intimidated by the possibility of not being enough. And because of that, fear made them hesitate. Fear made them overthink. Fear made them question if they could truly show up as the partner you deserve. Your soulmate's urgent message begins with this truth. God is rebuilding their confidence. Not arrogance, not ego, not performance, but God-given confidence. Confidence rooted in identity. Confidence rooted in healing. Confidence rooted in self-awareness. Confidence rooted in purpose. Because destiny requires boldness. Kingdom connections require courage. Love requires a heart strong enough to stand firm. God has been working on your soulmate in quiet ways, strengthening their voice, strengthening their clarity, strengthening their emotional backbone, strengthening their ability to initiate, strengthening their ability to lead or partner, strengthening their ability to pursue without second-guessing themselves. This rebuilding started when God began exposing their insecurities, not to shame them, but to heal them. They might be confronting patterns like feeling unworthy of healthy love, letting past failure distort their future, thinking they have nothing to offer, believing someone like you is too good, thinking love is too complicated, fearing commitment because of what they saw growing up, feeling they are not stable enough yet, worrying they cannot meet your expectations. These insecurities were slowing down the connection, blocking communication, creating confusion, planting fear. But now, God is tearing them down and rebuilding your soulmate from the inside out. because this next chapter requires a different version of them. A stronger version. A healed version. A version that leads with courage, not with anxiety. God is teaching them to see themselves through His eyes, not through their past, not through their mistakes, not through what failed, not through what went wrong, not through who left, not through who broke them. God is reminding them of their value, their potential, their purpose, their calling, their capacity to love deeply and faithfully. Heaven is restoring what life tried to diminish. Your soulmate is stepping into a season where they are more decisive, more intentional, more emotionally grounded, more spiritually aware, more stable in their identity, more confident in their ability to choose love and protect it. And this shift is important, because love cannot thrive in a partner who second-guesses everything. Connection cannot grow with someone who is paralyzed by doubt. Union cannot form if one heart keeps shrinking away from what it wants. Confidence is the fuel of pursuit, and God is giving your soulmate the confidence they need to come toward you. They are beginning to feel stronger, clear, more stable within, more grounded in who they are, less afraid of vulnerability, less afraid of rejection, less afraid of repeating old mistakes, less afraid of hurting or being hurt. They are standing taller, thinking differently, feeling more capable, understanding their value, and recognizing that they are not just good enough for you. They are called to you. They are starting to understand that their love is valuable. Their presence is meaningful. Their heart is powerful. Their intentions are honorable. Their future is worthy of being shared. God is rebuilding them into someone who can love you with strength, with consistency, with clarity, with emotional maturity. So when they finally speak, their voice will not tremble. Their heart will not shrink. Their words will not be confused. Their intention will not waver. They will speak with conviction, move with certainty, pursue with purpose, and love with confidence, because God has prepared them, strengthened them, fortified them, and shaped them. Your soulmate is stepping out of insecurity and stepping into identity, and that changes everything. Number 5. God is aligning their life so they can choose you without confusion, distraction, or double-mindedness. One of the greatest threats to a God-ordained relationship is not another person. It is confusion. It is distraction. It is double-mindedness. It is emotional noise that competes with clarity. And right now, God is silencing the noise around your soulmate, because heaven refuses to let this connection be built on uncertainty. Heaven refuses to let you be chosen from a place of instability. Heaven refuses to allow confusion to dictate the direction of this destiny. Your soulmate's life is being rearranged, not to punish them, but to give them clarity. Clarity about who they are. Clarity about what they want. Clarity about what they are called to. Clarity about what matters. Clarity about what is real versus what is convenient. You cannot build a kingdom relationship with someone who is still tied to distractions, still tied to emotional clutter, still tied to people who pull them off their path, still tied to old wounds, still tied to mixed intentions. God knows that. So God is aligning everything. He is resetting their priorities. He is reshaping their focus. He is filtering their circle. He is redirecting their energy. He is removing distractions they once tolerated. He is exposing connections that were never meant to stay. Your soulmate is being brought into mental and emotional clarity. And that clarity is essential, because you deserve someone who chooses you from peace, not panic. Someone who sees you clearly, not through fog. Someone who comes toward you from alignment, not from impulse. Someone who knows exactly what they are stepping into. And this is the shift happening in their life right now. For the first time in a long time, they are seeing themselves, their patterns, their intentions, their weaknesses, their needs, their future, with honesty they used to avoid. This level of clarity is uncomfortable. It forces them to confront the ways they've lived on autopilot. It forces them to acknowledge the places they have been inconsistent. It forces them to see where they were settling. It forces them to realize they have been spiritually and emotionally underfeeding themselves. But this clarity is necessary, because you cannot build depth on top of confusion. So God is aligning their life with precision. Some of the signs of their alignment include feeling a sudden urge to get organized, wanting to simplify their life, wanting to fix things they kept procrastinating, wanting to better themselves financially, wanting to grow spiritually, wanting to become more consistent, wanting to prepare for something they cannot fully explain. This is not random behavior. This is preparation. Your soulmate is being brought into a season where they cannot tolerate chaos anymore. They cannot tolerate drama. They cannot tolerate emotional inconsistency. They cannot tolerate people who drain them. They cannot tolerate relationships with no purpose. Their spirit is rising, and everything not aligned with the rise is falling away. God is making sure that when they come toward you, they come with clarity. They come with intention. They come with order. They come with peace. Because you are not meant to enter their life as a rescue. You are meant to enter as a partner. Not to fix their chaos, but to build with their clarity. This is why their life might currently look like shifting friendships, changing habits, breaking old attachments, refocusing priorities, healing past wounds, setting boundaries, upgrading their lifestyle, seeking direction. All of it is alignment. All of it is preparation. All of it is God removing the distractions that would interfere with the connection He is forming. Double-mindedness has no place in a divine relationship. Uncertainty has no place in a divine relationship. Emotional confusion has no place in a divine relationship. Your soulmate is being shaped into someone who knows what they want, and who they want, with conviction. And beloved, who they want is you. They are moving into a season where choosing you will not feel complicated. It will feel clear, natural, right, blessed. Because God is aligning their internal world, so their external decisions can honor the destiny God has written for both of you. This alignment is the reason their message is urgent. Something in their spirit is saying, get ready, get clear, get honest, get aligned. Because the time to move is approaching. Your soulmate is stepping into clarity, and that clarity is leading them straight to you. Number 6. Their heart is waking up to the realization that you are their safe place, their turning point, and their God-sent partner. One of the most undeniable signs of a divinely orchestrated connection is this. Your soulmate begins to recognize you as their safe place long before they fully understand why. And right now, their heart is waking up to that truth, slowly, quietly, powerfully, in ways they cannot easily explain, in ways that surprise them, in ways that feel spiritual rather than logical. Your presence in their life, even if the connection is not fully formed, even if the relationship has not officially begun, even if your communication is limited, even if the encounter hasn't happened yet, feels different to them. Safe, honest, warm, pure, healing, orchestrated. Not because you're trying to force anything, not because you're trying to impress them, not because you're performing for them, but because their spirit recognizes you. Their heart is realizing, you are not a threat, you are not a test, you are not a distraction, you are not an illusion, you are not temporary, you are a divine assignment, a soul connection, a God-ordained presence, a turning point in their emotional and spiritual journey. This realization is awakening something in them, and with awakening comes discomfort. Because when people are used to survival mode, safety feels unfamiliar, healing feels suspicious, love feels overwhelming. Your soulmate has spent years holding themselves together, masking wounds, making decisions from fear, pretending they were fine, carrying burdens silently, settling for connections that lack depth, giving their heart in pieces. But your presence, your energy, your spirit, interrupts that pattern. You don't trigger their defenses. You trigger their healing. You don't pressure them. You give them peace. You don't drain them. You nourish their spirit. This is new. This is rare. This is sacred. And because of this, their heart is waking up to a truth they can no longer ignore. You are their safe place. Not the kind of safety that makes people complacent, but the kind of safety that inspires growth, that invites vulnerability, that calls them higher, that awakens them to a future they didn't think they deserved. Your soulmate is beginning to realize that with you. They can finally exhale. Be honest. Be real. Be human. Be imperfect. Be present. Be hopeful again. They feel understood without having to explain everything. They feel connected without having to force anything. They feel drawn without knowing why. They feel protected without you saying a word. This is spiritual. This is divine. This is God working through emotional frequency. But here is the deeper part. Their realization that you are their safe place is also awakening another truth. You are their turning point. You represent the shift they've been needing, the healing they've been praying for, the clarity they've been searching for, the elevation they've been preparing for. Your presence challenges them, not in a destructive way, but in a transformative way. They want to become better, more consistent, more grounded, more whole, more honest, more emotionally available, because they want to show up for you the right way. And this desire, this hunger to grow, this pull to evolve, is coming from a deep spiritual place. God is using you as a mirror, not to expose them, but to elevate them. They can see the kind of partner you are, the kind of love you carry, the kind of spirit you walk with, and they know, in their heart, that they must rise to match that, not through pressure, but through purpose. This is why emotions have been rising within them, why thoughts of you have become louder, why their spirit is restless, why their heart feels tender, why their intuition keeps pulling them toward you. Because your soulmate is waking up to love, waking up to clarity, waking up to purpose, waking up to truth. You are not just someone they admire. You are someone they feel destined to move toward. And that realization is becoming impossible for them to suppress. Their heart is telling them, this is your safe place. This is your turning point. This is your God-sent partner. Move toward them. Don't fear this. Don't run from this. Don't overthink this. This is the connection heaven wrote for you. This awakening is why their message is urgent. This is why their spirit is reaching for you. This is why heaven needs you to hear this now. Because your soulmate is not waking up by accident. They are waking up because it is time. Number 7. They are being spiritually positioned to move toward you publicly, boldly, and without fear. Because God is removing everything that once held them back. There comes a moment in every divinely orchestrated connection where God shifts someone from silence into action, from hesitation into clarity, from private feelings into public movement. Your soulmate has reached that moment. Something in their spirit is being aligned, guided, prepared, strengthened, pushed forward by heaven's timing. For months, possibly years, they have carried quiet feelings, private emotions, unspoken thoughts, hidden prayers, internal hesitations. They felt the connection. They sensed the pull. They recognized the spiritual familiarity. But they didn't feel ready to move. Not because they didn't care. Not because they didn't see your value. Not because they didn't feel the connection. Not because they didn't want you. But because they were battling things internally that you couldn't see. Fear, unworthiness, emotional residue from old relationships, pressure from past failures, voices from childhood, false beliefs about themselves, spiritual distractions, unresolved wounds, lingering doubts, competing priorities. They were trying to hold everything together, trying to make sense of their own heart, trying to feel stable before taking a step toward you. But now, God is removing everything that once held them back. One by one, quietly, systematically, heaven is dismantling every block, every fear, every old attachment, every emotional chain, every lie the enemy tried to place over their heart. Your soulmate is not just waking up emotionally. They are being positioned spiritually. And when God positions someone, He doesn't ask permission. He doesn't wait for perfect timing in the natural. He doesn't care about their fears. He doesn't negotiate with their insecurities. He intervenes. He aligns. He pushes. He prepares. And that is exactly what is happening right now. Your soulmate is entering a season of divine boldness. They are becoming stronger in their decisions, clearer in their intentions, more confident in their future, more surrendered to God's direction. And because of this, their next move will not be subtle. It will not be passive. It will not be halfway. It will not be hidden. It will be public. Because when God moves someone toward you, He removes the option of secrecy. He removes the fear of judgment. He removes the hesitation about being seen with you. He removes the concern of what people will say. God makes it undeniable, unavoidable, unshakable. Your soulmate is being prepared to step toward you in a way that reveals, I choose you. I honor this connection. I'm not running anymore. I'm not hiding my heart. I'm not questioning what God has made clear. I'm not ashamed of what I feel for you. I'm ready to stand beside you openly. This is the shift heaven has been preparing behind the scenes. This is why their emotions recently intensified. This is why their dreams have been clearer. This is why thoughts of you became louder. This is why their old relationships ended. This is why their distractions fell away. This is why their spirit has been unsettled. They are being positioned for a public step toward you. Not just a message, not just a hint, not just an emotion, not just a feeling, a declaration. A step that requires courage and intention. A step that confirms everything you've been sensing. Heaven is pulling them forward, and they are finally ready to follow. But here is the part you must understand. This public move isn't just about romance. It's about assignment, calling, alignment, purpose, destiny. God is connecting two people who have the potential to elevate each other spiritually and emotionally. Two people who will heal together, grow together, serve together, build together, pray together, strengthen each other, stand against adversity together. Your soulmate's movement toward you is not emotional impulse. It is divine orchestration. Their spirit knows it, your spirit feels it, and heaven is confirming it. You are stepping into a season where the quiet, private, uncertain phase ends, and the bold, public, clarified phase begins. God is not just sending love into your life. He is sending alignment, stability, commitment, transparency, covenant-level intention. Your soulmate is approaching, not as someone guessing, but as someone guided, someone awakened, someone instructed by heaven. Their message is urgent because their movement is close. Their spirit is speaking because their steps are aligning. Their heart is stirring because God is calling them forward. Prepare yourself. Prepare your emotions. Prepare your faith. Prepare your expectations. Because the next phase of your connection will not be hidden. It will be undeniable. And God will make sure of it. What you just read is only the beginning. Because when a soulmate reaches this level of truth, this level of awakening, this level of spiritual readiness, everything that happens next begins to unfold quickly. The energy shifts, the communication shifts, the timing shifts, the connection shifts, and heaven starts moving pieces you didn't even know were connected. Your soulmate is stepping into a moment of full revelation, a moment where their heart and their spirit refuse to stay silent, a moment where their truth is stronger than their fear. And this moment is going to meet you. So, if you can feel something building, if you can feel the pull, if your spirit has been restless, if your dreams have been vivid, if your intuition has been louder than usual, it's because heaven is preparing you for what's coming next. This message, this confession, this emotional breakthrough will not just clarify the past, it will set the stage for your future. And I want you to be fully ready, fully aligned, fully prepared, so you don't miss what heaven is trying to deliver into your life. If you want the next part, if you want deeper guidance, if you want the next revelation about their feelings, their timing, their transformation, make sure you subscribe right now. I release these messages in real time, and every chapter builds on the one before it. Your clarity is coming. Your confirmation is coming. Your next sign is coming. Stay connected. Stay aligned. Stay open. Because the next message from their soul is even more powerful than this one. And you won't want to miss it. Amen.